Right then, let's talk about Google Ads. For most shooting range owners, it feels a bit like firing your marketing budget into a thick fog and just hoping for the best. Well, we're here to change that. We're going to turn that costly guessing game into a precise, profitable, and frankly, far more satisfying tool. And let's not be coy about the cost of getting it wrong. Based on what we see day in and day out, a number like this, £10,000, is what a range can very easily leak every single year on ads that just don't work. It's a slow, steady, and entirely preventable financial bleed. So this is the fundamental shift in thinking you have to make. You're not just buying clicks or traffic, you're buying customers. Your ads shouldn't be a loudhailer shouting into an empty field. Think of them more like guided munitions designed to hit a very specific, high-value target. It's all about conversion, not just making noise. Which brings us neatly to our first diagnosis. If you're spending money on ads, but you can't trace that spend directly to actual bookings, then I'm afraid your ads are leaking. It's an incredibly common problem, but one we need to sort out and fast. To put it in terms you'll appreciate, it's like sending rounds downrange with no idea if you're even hitting the backstop, let alone the target. Every single click from someone who has absolutely no intention of booking is a wasted resource. It's just draining your budget for zero strategic gain. And this is where so many people get it wrong. They get distracted by what we call vanity metrics. You know, things like impressions and clicks. They look lovely in a report, don't they? Makes you feel busy. But they are pure vanity. They don't pay the bills. Bookings and cost per acquisition, now those are the metrics that matter. They tell you if your business is actually growing. Okay, so how do we fix this? Well, the solution starts long before you spend a single pound. It's all about discipline and strategy. You absolutely must aim before you fire. This, right here, is what separates the professionals from the amateurs. So your very first tactical action is to get laser-focused on high-intent keywords. Think about the difference. Someone searching for gun safety laws is just doing research. They are a massive budget risk. But someone searching shooting range near me booking, now that person is a customer. Your entire job is to be there for that customer and to be conspicuously absent for the researcher. And this is how you do it. This isn't just a list of words. It's a waste filter. By actively telling Google not to show your ads for terms like free, game, or jobs, you immediately stop the leakage. Honestly, this is the single fastest way to improve your profitability. That £10,000 leak we mentioned, a lot of the time it's plugged by just a handful of words like these. Now, once you've filtered out the wrong people, you have to say the right thing. A one-size-fits-all ad is just a bit of a bother, isn't it? The person planning a stag do wants to hear about adrenaline, fun, maybe even machine guns. The person booking a pistol course, they need to see words like safety, precision, certification. If your message doesn't perfectly match their intent, they simply won't click. It's as simple as that. So you've aimed and you've fired. Brilliant. But now for the most critical part of all, confirming your hits. If you are not meticulously tracking your conversions, you are operating on hope, not strategy. And hope, I'm afraid, is not a viable business plan. This brings us to the only number that truly matters in paid advertising: cost per acquisition, or CPA. Simply put, it's the exact price you pay to get one paying customer through your door. It cuts through all the noise, all the vanity metrics, and tells you one simple thing: is this working? And let me be perfectly clear about this. If your cost per acquisition is higher than the profit you make from a single booking, you are literally paying people to become your customers. It is a mathematically guaranteed way to go out of business. Knowing your CPA isn't just a good idea, it's non-negotiable. So what are these hits we actually need to be tracking? Well, the most valuable, of course, is a confirmed booking right there on your website. But don't you dare neglect inbound phone calls, especially for larger groups who prefer to sort things out with a real person, or even form submissions for custom quotes. Every single one is a direct signal of incoming revenue. Right, the final phase. A successful campaign is never, ever finished. The market changes, your competitors get ideas, things shift. This is all about continuous refinement. You can think of it as constantly adjusting your scope based on real-time data to maintain pinpoint accuracy. Now, don't underestimate the power of small gains. Look at this, a tiny 2% increase in your website's conversion rate. It doesn't sound like much, does it? But as you can see, for every 1,000 clicks, that little adjustment results in 20 extra bookings for the exact same ad spend. This is how you start to dominate a market. And how do you find that extra 2%? Through relentless A/B testing. You test different headlines in your ads, you test different pictures on your landing pages, you test different offers, you test, you measure, you refine, and you repeat. You let the data, not your gut feeling, tell you what works. It removes all the guesswork. So, the crucial point, the big strategic gain for all this work, is that you move from just hoping the phone rings to actively commanding demand. You'll know exactly how many bookings you'll get for every pound you invest. It turns your marketing into a predictable, measurable engine for growth. Which really just leaves us with one final question for you to consider. Take a hard look at what you're doing right now. Is your marketing budget a genuine investment with a measurable return you can count on? Or is it simply another line item on the expense sheet? The answer to that question will determine everything.